mercantile license, so there's a gray line we're walking right there. I come before the council, see what we can do to make this happen. Do we need to put it in charging stations, lease a little spot? I don't know what we gotta do, but this is something I would put before you guys. We took the bikes off the street, made Wildwood Crest the red zone, so they can't be ridden into it. They shut off. Same thing with North Wildwood. We're trying to do this the right way. We don't want to just drop bikes and make Public Works get angry at us. So if you guys could think about this, maybe give me a date that we could come to a meeting and see what the yay and nay is about it, rather than making any harsh decisions rather quick. Because I just learned about this meeting yesterday. They said, oh, they're have a council meeting tomorrow morning. Oh, let me run up there, get into your face and make this happen.
Okay, so your request is, so what's the name of the company again?
It's called Scootin'.
Scootin', and
Yeah.
they're all electric motorized?
They're electric motorized bikes and scooters. You scan it with your phone to turn it on. They lock when you're done. You ride them where you want. You leave them where you want. People pick them up and ride them where they want. You know, it's a new fad, I would call it. I don't know, I hope it's actually keeps going, but a lot of the big cities embrace it. It's taken a lot of traffic off the roads, gives a lot of tourist people things to do. A lot of good parts in it, you know, no pollution. It's just, we just gotta get past this Public Works issue.
You're saying Public Works?
Well, yeah, them guys would ride around, see the bike sitting there, so that someone said, oh, someone just dropped the bike off and walked away. Well, they pick it up, take it to the police station. Same thing, you know, people think it's stolen or something. It's not. You know, this is a new business idea. It's sort of like Uber, you know, or DoorDash, all this, you know, new rideshare stuff. So we teamed up with a company, and now we want to team up with you guys.
So let me ask a question. So my memory serves me well. There are scooter and electric, you know, bike rentals that have physical locations on the island.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
You're not one of them.
We're
right?
not one of them. We're a rideshare.
You're a rideshare, so you can just, like one picks up their bike, how does one?
They come to the bike, take their phone out, scan the URL code on
Where are the
it.
bikes at?
They would just be sitting wherever.
Anywhere
like,
throughout our municipality,
right on-
they could just be sitting on the, leaning up against the telephone pole, and they could
Well,
tap with the phone.
Yes, but we're gonna have, we make park zones, we have no ride zones, we can shut down the speeds of these bikes all by the app that we run. So they're not just set and forget and people are just riding on the A&As wide open down the boardwalk. We have that shut down, they can't even go down them right now.
I have a
You know?
question for you.
Yes, sir.
So, you have to explain to me, because I'm not clear. I mean, I understand the
Mhm.
philosophy of it, I've seen them before. To me personally, and this has no reflection of anybody's opinion up here, leaving them lay there becomes a public problem, a public safety problem.
Yes.
A tripping hazard for me, per se, in this community. We're really not used to having this stuff that you're saying, but where physically are these bikes, their starting point? Where, are you dropping them off?
Well, this
Where are
weekend it
they?
was. This weekend it was
Did
because
you
we had no
physically
starting
put them
point.
out there?
There was no starting point.
So, how
So
did the
like
bikes
just say
appear?
Wawa, you put them there by the payphone. I'm just using that as an
Okay, got it.
example, okay? And now a customer or whoever wants to come out, they take the bike, they ride it to the boardwalk. They get off, they leave it. Next person comes by, scan it, take it.
How do they know it's there? They just
All
walk
in the
by and see
app.
it?
You'll see bikes
Oh,
all in your app,
So
just like Uber. You'll
So
see
you're putting
whatever
those
it's
locations
charged.
there.
It has a bunch of information on the vehicle.
So you're renting bicycles on pickup and drop-off locations on other people's properties, including
Right.
public.
Right.
I just wanna make sure I
Well,
understand what you're saying.
Unfortunately, that's what it's looked at, yes.
Okay,
That's
so
why I
in
don't want that
fairness
to
all the
happen.
people
That's
that
what I
have-
don't want to happen. We need to.
But if
come-
people have physical offices that are paying rent or bought property and they're paying taxes that have an actual location, do you think it's fair to them?
Well, it is and it isn't, because we're not actually, like, someone could start in Rio Grande and ride the bike here and leave it. You could start here, ride it to Cape May, leave it. You know what I'm saying? It's like Uber. You're calling somebody, they're coming and picking you up, they're driving you.
But Uber leaves
Or their zip
and
car.
takes their car with them.
But then there's zip car, where you can just take someone's car and ride that around and leave it. Next person gets in the car, drives it. Same thing.
These
See,
are
this is the
these
gray
are
area.
electric bikes though,
This is the
correct?
gray area.
Bikes
These
and
are-
scooters, he said.
These are bikes and electric scooters.
Okay, so we are having a problem right now up on our bike path
Yes.
with electric vehicles that are motorized that are running up and down our,
You would never see ours on there because it would be shut off. They get near there, the bike just stops. And it's hard, heavy and hard to push. So you don't want it to happen. It's like, oh, you know, it tells you, it shows you a red zone. You ain't supposed to be there.
I have a question, Mr. Aiken.
Yes.
You said you wanted to do it the right way. right?
Well, yeah, I found this must have been the wrong way yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just launched,
Kind
so.
of just threw them out there without any type of,
No, my brother, he should be here in front of you. He's the paperwork guy. I'm the hands-on, okay? I just found out about this yesterday. So if there's, I'm just here to put like a sort of a red light up for any discussion or vote against this or for it, that we could come to you with evidence that you're asking that what, you know, to make this happen, you know? I mean, everything's insured.
we didn't know about
No, yeah,
it. We had no idea about it.
right, so
Decided.
that's,
No, I didn't
Wait.
either. I think your request for us to do that in the middle of summer is a little bit unreasonable, just to be honest.
Right.
I think there's a whole vetting process and think tank process that this municipality needs to go through, like, I don't wanna wave the
Yeah, I
white flag,
agree.
hey, guy came to a meeting, next thing you know, there's
No.
all these bikes on the street.
right, I agree. That's why I wouldn't want you to vote on it today.
That's what I'm
That would
saying.
be
I'm not
irrational,
prepared-
actually.
I don't even wanna vote on it this summer, just being honest. I'd rather us have the time. You wanna, and if there's details that you can provide our clerk,
Mhm.
and then
Yes.
it can be vetted by the police department and the public works department and all the people that this touches.
Right, it touches a lot, I
And
found.
I'm
I
just,
didn't
you know,
realize it.
I'm a small business owner. Those folks that have businesses that invest in money and labor and
I'm with you.
and parcels for them to rent from, to and from, it's not, I don't think it's fair enough. I don't, but. I'm
So
really on
yesterday, I
board.
asked for a mercantile license and she wouldn't grant the application for me. And she told me, well, there's a public meeting tomorrow, you go up before them and talk to them about it. Because we would like to just, any licensing fees that we'll gladly pay
what
to
she
get
said
this
to you
done.
was
There is-
correct.
You've no
What she
storefront.
said to you was correct.
Right,
So there was no question about that at all.
no,
You know, and you said you wanted to put the red light up. You actually achieved that.
yes, well, good.
Because it's, to me, it's difficult. It puts us in a difficult situation. Plus, as the mayor is saying, and I agree 1,000% with him, yeah, we have business owners that are paying for their bike rental.
And we're not trying to do anything harm. We want to embrace that, you know?
How's that embraced?
Well, if we can lease pieces of your land to put charging stations, these bikes can be parked in one spot or another. They get charged, and it's a safe spot for them. They're not left around the park, not left in a handicap zone.
But that doesn't mean the way you're explaining
And then
it.
we're buying a mercantile license from you.
I'm not going to debate you, I'm not trying to debate you, I'm just trying to get a little bit clearer
Mm-hmm.
sense. But still, if you're putting these bikes out there, there's still, you're not gonna achieve, like if you put these stations out there, does that mean they automatically have to go there, or can they still lay
Yes,
them on the
yeah, we'll
ground?
program that they have to automatically go there, or you get charged, your credit card keeps running. People ride that bike right back to it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I want to go back to the Columbine Road shed issue, because we didn't finish that up. So my understanding is, and you had contacted me, and I was aware that you had already contacted other folks in the borough, so I was waiting to hear your presentation here today. I think it's what you're talking about is somewhat complicated. We need to address it. I think we need to take in your information, which you're gonna need for us hopefully very soon. Then we're gonna address it internally with our department heads.
That's what I
department
expected
heads.
to be addressed internally.
Yeah, so just let us digest all what you're gonna give to us, and then we'll be back in touch with you very shortly. Just give us the time to take care of it.
Can I be heard? I'm the owner of that shed.
Yes, sure, go ahead. Go on.
State your name and address for the record.
My name's Alan Hirschman. I live at 213 East Columbine Road, the same block as Kelly, even though I don't know her, it's the same one. myself and my wife, Susan Fox Hirschman, who's an artist, a potter, moved, she moved back and I moved with her. She grew up in Wildwood Crest. And we lived in Northern Virginia for over almost 47 years, where she was doing pottery for over 40 years as of today, well, more than 40 years. And we built a pottery studio behind our home. And that's what, as Kelly mentioned, the website and what it refers to. Some of the things we've changed and some we haven't yet changed, but on that website, it did say classes, and she did give classes. That's not applicable here. It's out there. The history is we moved back in April 2021 to the house my wife grew up in, and she wants to continue doing pottery. And so I didn't know what the regs were, what the rules were, what the setbacks were. I went through all that in Virginia before we built our studio. And I came up and I talked to the official of the borough. I said, here's where I live. I had a survey done before I even, I believe, met with him. I think, and I probably brought it with me, but I'm not certain of this. And by the way, I only learned of this meeting about 20 minutes ago. So I'm not giving what I would consider a totally coherent response. But I'm doing the best I can based on what I've heard. So we're back in, after April 2021, we moved here, met with the borough representative. I said, my wife's an artist. She wants to continue making pottery. And what we have is a garage where she works out of right now, which has a one-car garage, which has a boiler, an extra refrigerator, washer and a dryer. And the other space is where she works out of. So you can imagine she's working out of half of the garage, and she's got the bruises to show it. I mean, she's bumping into things. So we wanted to have more space. So I came to the borough, I discussed it. They told me what I had to do, what I could do. They told me I could build a shed in the front, as long as I was within the setbacks, which I believe were 5 feet from the sides, 10 feet from the front property line. And so we went hunting for sheds. And we didn't put in as big a shed as we could, but we put in a substantial shed. It's equivalent of a one-car garage. It's 12 by 20. And it sits, if you're looking at the property, I have no information or diagrams because, as I said, I didn't know I was going to be talking today. It sits to the right, it's in front of the right side of the house. It's not center. And that's what we wanted. We wanted to make it the least obtrusive as possible. And so then we went shopping for sheds. We went shopping to put in a pad. And by the way, everything I'm telling you now was stated to the borough. I did nothing without coming here. And what I represented to them was, we're not going to give classes. We're not going to sell. It's not going to be a shop. We're going to do shows. I think Miss Kelly mentioned the boutique, and I assume she mentioned Chrissy Marie's boutique on Jersey, whatever the cross street is. My wife's the featured artist at her boutique, not in the studio, that yet isn't up and running, by the way. And that's how she does her work, and is going to do her work in the Cape May area, doing shows. She's done several shows in Physic Estate in Cape May. She did the recent show at the Crest at Centennial Park. That's how she sells her work, doing shows. She doesn't want a shop. Not only is it we're not going to have a shop, I'm not going to tell you her age, but she's been doing this a long time, and she wants to enjoy life a little more. We don't want to run the business she had in Virginia. But she's got a passion for making it. She loves it. You know, she wants to die one day after she does her last show, because she loves doing it. It's not work for her. Anyway, so we got the shed, we bought the shed, we put it on the pad. The pad was first put down, a gravel pad. Shed sits on the pad. We've got electricity coming to it. We contracted with an electrician. Now, before I did anything, before I spent one dime, I got a zoning permit from the borough. I then got a construction permit from the borough. I'm not spending any money unless I know I can do what's permitted. Then we went out and ordered the shed, the pad was put down, contracted with an electrician, because we're gonna she's gonna work in there. She's gonna design and create her work there. Now, and some of it will be created still in the garage, but she's gonna do most of the initial creation in this building. And we understand putting a building like this in the front of your house, maybe, you know, it would, some people may like it, some people may not like it. We've already put a lot of potted flowers around it. We're negotiating with a landscape architect, and I can assure you, the visuals of this is gonna be nicer than anybody's garden on our lot. That's a subjective statement, but we want it to look nice. We not only want it to look nice to the neighbor next door, who's concerned about his breeze when he's on the corner. That's our neighbors right here, Nancy and Chuck. I'm sorry.
I see the picture. I just
I'm
wanna-
gonna let him finish and then I'm gonna talk again.
Now, this, a few days ago, maybe 3-4 days ago, okay, so I think the story is we built the shed, we're gonna have electricity, heating and air conditioning, and we're even putting the heating and air conditioning through the wall to the backside, and no one in the street will be facing our house. I had that discussion also with the borough. They said, you know, try to make it as look as attractive as possible. No problem. So no one driving down the street's gonna see the air conditioning unit, they're gonna see a building with nice doors, they're gonna see a beautiful flower bed and gardening, and they're not gonna come for classes, and they're not gonna come to buy. All we're doing is just creating it, and I'm sure, I don't know if in this county you have home occupation thing. I haven't reviewed any, I would have done that already by now, had I known this was coming up. I didn't know. So, what I'm looking at, Ms. Kelly said this was that we represented, this shed was gonna just be for supplies. We misrepresented. You asked the representative from the county, I all along told him it's gonna be to create a design and we're selling outside. At shows or Chrissy Marie invites us as a featured artist, yeah, we'll sell. And we applied, and I think my wife got, I have to ask her, the sales tax license.
You said the county. Did you mean the local municipality, Crest? Or you said the county? You got approval from the county?
No, I'm sorry, I meant the borough, the Wildwood Crest borough, misstated it. And I know she applied for her sales tax license, and I think she may have gotten it. And that, so, you know, we'll be paying taxes on whatever income we generate. The first thing, one of the first things Ms. Kelly said, and I made quick notes, is this was only gonna be for supplies. That's wrong. I've always represented to the county, we're creating, my wife's creating and designing it. She mentioned something about a boutique. I assume it was Chrissy Marie's boutique. Well, my wife will be the featured artist. You know, we're not doing anything legal. And we started before we did anything with the county and got the required approvals. I got, a few days ago, some woman came to our door, I would say 3-4 days ago, almost crying, shaking like a leaf. And we said, what's the problem? She said, some older lady came to her door with a petition, and I don't know if she told us if this older lady was, what she was representing, but that's what she said. And this woman who came to our door shaking and crying was so upset that, what do you care? You know, I'm not gonna sign a petition because someone wants to do something on their own property. That's the first time I got a real inkling there was a petition floating around. Today, I got a call from my neighbor across the street who said, I want to give you a heads up. There was a lady who came to our door and said, we should sign a petition. They didn't sign. She told this lady, I don't sign petitions because I don't know if in a year or two from now, somebody's gonna pull out something that I signed and says something that I didn't want to say. But, so she called us and told us. But she also told us, the lady who came to the door represented, it's a petition that because of the fact that the owners of this shed, that's us, are gonna run a business there, people will be coming in and out, and there's gonna be so much traffic on the street. I don't know what she represented to everybody else who, if they signed this petition or not. That's not gonna happen. And just an aside, if you go down our street right now, there's nowhere to park. Nobody in the summer is coming down our street because our street, you have enough houses that take up most of the parking. Plus, it's one of the streets you don't have to pay to walk 3 blocks to the beach. So it's not gonna, but we're not running a shop where people are gonna be coming in and out. But that was misrepresented to our neighbor, and she told us that today. I don't know what was stated to these other alleged 30 people. But if the only thing they have a problem with is it's a shed and they don't like it because it cuts off someone's breeze, or you know, you don't want a shed in someone's front yard. The next time they're coming to you with, I don't like this green and purple paint that my neighbor put on the door, or I don't like the way a dog's barking so loud. I mean, it's absurd, and I know it's absurd. But if it's the aesthetics, as I said, this is gonna be nicer than most of the homes on the block. Not everyone, because I don't know everyone. But what I would like to do also, I'd like an opportunity before you even decide what you're gonna do or how you're gonna, to present, to write something, to prepare something. Because, as I said, this is after 20 minutes ago learning about what's happening here today. I'd like an opportunity, and I'll send you the pictures. I'll send you whatever you want. I mean, to think this aesthetically offends someone. My next door neighbors who are sitting right behind me, on the side of their yard to my house, but it's not the front yard because it sits immediately behind the front, but it's on the side, hang their laundry every week, once or twice. Now, they have the right to do it. I mean, it's not offensive. You know, they have the right to do it. But to suggest my thing is more offensive than laundry when you're driving down the street, I think that's a push. It just doesn't make any sense. And, you know, I wouldn't say anything about it because it's none of my business. They're allowed to do what they can do. But it just, this is a slippery slope if this goes any further. As far as neighbors not liking, if they truly don't like, or if they signed it because they were misled. We're not running a business, we will not. I represented that to the borough before, I'm representing it. We're not gonna have people walking in and out of the house. It's not gonna be a shop. It's not gonna be a shop. But I would like time to file something so I could show you what it is. I could show, and by the way, the inside is plain. It's just, if this was a shop, this is just coming to me now, train of thought. We'd want it to look really nice inside. You know, you can't have a shop. This inside is raw, it's all 2x4s. We got, the only thing we put in that cost a little extra money up, we did get windows, doors, and floors heavied up, when I say heavied up, insulated. So when Susan works there, she could do it in the winter, she could do it in the summer. Other than that, you could come and see it's all 2x4s all over. We've seen shops before. There's no one's gonna walk into this thing and think they're, because the pottery's gorgeous. And if we're selling it from there, we used to do shows, pretty nice shows. Some in Philadelphia, matter of fact. Our booth alone took 5 hours to set up because we had track lighting, we had walls that were nice, we had carpet. We did everything to make it attractive. And that's how you sell
can I ask, so
Sure.
yourself, Ms. Kelly, can you both have all the documentation, photos, anything that you need to submit to the municipality, to the clerk? Can you guys have it by Monday?
Yeah, yes,
Monday the 11th?
but I would like to speak again.
After?
Yes, I'm waiting.
I do my mind. I'm just trying to take it on my calendar.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to do it. I'll do it on Monday.
Okay. All right, Ms. Kelly, you're gonna speak?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I'm done.
These presentations just reminded me, we need to add the 5-minute limit on our agendas for the
Thank you.
full.
I'll second.
You should have told me that. First, I want to thank Mr. Hirschman because he just supported everything that we've been saying. If you listen to him, you could hear his lies because he said 3 days ago, but yet he heard about the meeting 20 minutes ago. So right there, he's lying. The person who did go to him, I know, is worried because they might have been done something that is illegal, but that's not my issue right now. I can't save the world, and I'm just trying to focus on this. He clearly states that it's a workshop with electricity and air, and it's not finished yet. That's true. We're trying to stop it so no more money is spent on this thing. My husband and I went to the art show because we wanted to get a business card. And I said, oh, this mug is lovely. You know, how much is it? $65. Oh, what if I needed 12? Oh, just come right over to my studio at 213 East Columbine Road. So I heard from the owners themselves that this is a business. When pieces are $65, a plate is $150. That's quite an extensive business. So if you listen to anything Mr. Hirschman said, he supported everything that we just said because it's not a shed. It is a warehouse, it is an operating business, and it's on the front lawn. And if he said he's not having classes, his wife told another neighbor, I'm gonna be holding classes there, just wait. So I just wanna thank him because he totally supported everything that we just said and why we're all here.
Okay, thank you.
I'll keep it short.
All right, is there anybody else in the audience that has any round? We're still in the first round of public comments. You'll get another opportunity. We're gonna cut that down to like 30 seconds, second time around. Just kidding. Anybody else here have any? Yes, ma'am.
Maria Winowski, 136 East Columbine. I just feel that you're allowing something, you're setting a precedent now. So let's say somebody says, I want to open up dog sitting on my front yard, and I'm going to put a shed there, and I'm going to put air conditioning in there. I mean, once you start something like this, it just spreads. And I think it's wrong. I was just riding my bike to the beach one day, and I looked over and I was like, what? That guy put a shed in his front yard?
Oh, by the way,
It was
a
I was
modular
really
building that
upset.
came down the street, fully already made.
I'm just not happy, and I hope it is removed.
Thank you. Anybody else in the audience? Anybody on the conference line have any public comments? Hearing none, we're going to move on to new business, which there is none listed. Old business, summer hours, that's a moot point, we can take it off. All right. Historian, no action on that. Backspeak excavation, office moves, I believe there is a meeting scheduled for July the 18th to dive into some of those details. Communications on hold, referendum, beach patrol building, capital permit, precedent, nothing there. All right, so this brings us to our last round of public comments. Again, I'll start with anybody here. You have 15 seconds. Yes, sir. Time's up. No, I'm just kidding.
I just have a quick question. I noticed they just repaved Pacific Avenue, and I know that there was, that's Joe Winofsky, 136 East Columbine. I know that they put a bike path down all the way up to Rambler.
Yes.
And I know a couple years ago, they were gonna put medians in the middle of Pacific, and there was gonna be a bike path all the way down Pacific, is there any plans to actually continue that bike path for the full length of Pacific Avenue?
Not the full length of Pacific. It would be, so what's currently the county roadway, which is from Rambler south, the bike lanes would then turn and direct the traffic towards the ocean front to connect with our oceanfront bike path and also the Seaview Avenue bicycle path.
Okay.
And then there's the planning board has in front of them a master plan connectivity. It's on there, listed on their agenda under business for discussion. I believe they're discussing that today as well. But yeah, so there's a bigger plan that I think that the municipality is working towards, but connecting it from Rambler going north to say Cressy Avenue to Wildwood is not the case. We want to connect it. There's no connectivity, say, into Wildwood at that point. We know we have connectivity at Rambler Road, which is where the bike path begins, where the bike statue is, and there's already lanes there, and there's already Seaview Avenue. So I know our engineer is working on getting the estimates to make that connection. So if it could be done, quickly during the summer, we may be able to get that done, but not certainly after.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? All right, that brings us to anybody on the conference line? None? Commissioner comments?
I'll defer to you first.
Just want to actually defer to Mr. Blasio, if you could just, I just hate to put you on the spot, but the survey we just approved for the folks that may not be aware of the dredging, if you could maybe give a little bit of a brief history of what we're actually doing, so everybody's kind of caught up to speed. Because I know what we're doing, but the public may not.
So essentially, the proposal that was authorized today is a survey of Sunset Lake, both we would call municipal waterways and also intercoastal. That's shown on our project location map. That work is scheduled to be done in the fall so that we're not interfering with recreational boats for the summer. And basically, the intent is to get updated topography or grades on the water or the sediment elevations, and then we're going to run an analysis to see how much material needs to be removed based on 3 different scenarios of depths to remove to the bottom of the basin. So that will all start in September, culminating with a report that we would believe you would have probably by the end of October. So put you in a position to give you updated data, options, and then really how much cubic yard of material would have to be removed so you can quantify the cost of that, and then have fun finding where you deposit it.
Yes. Thank you. Those were my comments, Mark. Those were my comments.
Okay, yes, sir.
They were yours? Very good. Hey, I'd just like to, once again, and I seem to do it all the time, but I'd like to thank our police department, our fire department, and the beach patrol and our EMS for keeping us safe. That was a heck of a weekend we just went through with minimal problems. Our dogs were working, and we didn't lose anybody on the beach, so that is a big thing for us, and I just want to thank everyone for a great job. That's all I have.
Okay. First of all, weather was on our side for the holiday weekend, so hopefully everybody got out and got a chance to enjoy it. If you got out on the beach, you saw thousands of people enjoying the awesome crest beaches that we have. Want to thank all the departments for all their hard work pulling it all together. I know that when there's lots of people in town and there's a lot of demand on services and on our amenities and the trash and recycling and the beach raking and all of that, the events on Centennial Park, all departments did a super nice job. I got nothing but positive comments. The only negative comment was we had so many people on the beach, the porta potties actually filled up. So we have a mental note for next year, 2023, to get that addressed. Reminding everybody also the sand sculpting contest is this Friday, and I believe the lifeguard championships are also this Friday.
Yes, they
All right.
started 6 o'clock.
Okay. Anybody on the conference line, last and final public comments?
Let me change that to 6:30, thank you.
All right. Hearing no other public comments, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.